Episode 44 of the Beardcaster. My name is Scott Sikora, and I am the Beardcaster. Welcome to a podcast all about beards and mustaches, beard culture, and all the stuff that goes along with it. Hear the stories from the people and learn the tricks of the trade on how to grow and maintain your style with advice taken from our personal experiences. It is about the facial hair lifestyle we live and our daily lives in the world all around us and how we deal with life. So please join me, the Beardcaster, as I share the stories about these people and hear how they are using their facial hair to do great and fun things. I am the Beardcaster. You can find out more about me at thebeardcaster.com. Easy website, all laid out pretty smoothly for you. Just type it in and voila, you can easily stream the podcast there. All the episodes are in a little player right at the top. Super easy. Click on subscribe. You can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio. You can, what else can you do there? Oh, you can find me on all my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. It's that easy. So all you can do is go to thebeardcaster.com. You can get hooked up with everything. Let's get on with what's going on today. So I just got off the line with this guy from Austin, Texas. I don't know if any of you have heard of him before, but his name is Bryan Nelson. I think that's what it is. Bryan Nelson. He belongs to this little club called the Austin Facial Hair Club, and he was one of the main people that orchestrated the 2017 World Beard and Mustache Championship located in Austin, Texas. So really fantastic conversation. He wasn't very nice to me. I'll just put it that way. He picked on me a lot and he made me feel sad, but that's okay. He's a nice guy. And I'm absolutely kidding. Bryan, class act guy, awesome president. He's just like what every guy in a beard club should aspire to be. I don't know. I really wish I could just run and give him a hug right now because he's that great of a guy. But so I talked to him in depth about the event. I wanted to talk to him about how he felt everything went and his thoughts and ideas on how the event went and all different aspects of it. So that's what we talk about. So I hope you enjoy this interview. But I want to bring up the fact that I was able to go to the 2017 World and Beard Mustache Championship in Austin, Texas, because of a couple good friends of ours. The American Mustache Institute helped me get there, and also Can You Handlebar also had a big to do with me getting to Austin, Texas this year, and I want to thank them both very much. You can check out the American Mustache Institute at the AmericanMustacheInstitute.org because they are an organization, and you can check out all the cool stuff about them that's going on right now. And you can also check out CanYouHandlebar.com and make sure if you guys are going to the website and you're checking out products and stuff, make sure if there's something that you guys like and you're checking out, use the coupon code TBM15 to get 15% off your next purchase. Now, I'm going to give a testimonial here because I don't give a lot of these out because I'm starting to learn some things about my beard right now that are not making me happy. And my wife and I are trying to figure out if there's something going on with me, but apparently everything I'm wearing is just smelling like garbage. And I put it on, and for some odd reason, within a few hours, whatever I'm putting on is like starting to either turn sour or it's losing its fragrance or something. But for some odd reason, the Can You Handlebar products are so far one of the only ones that are maintaining their integrity, their smell, and their hold. And I don't know what it is about their products, but I always knew that it was going to be whatever product that I found that didn't start smelling bad was going to be the one that I was going to start using. And they sent me some products to try out, and by God, if this is not the best made stuff I've ever tried, then I don't know. But I highly recommend you try Can You Handlebar products out. And I'm not just saying this. I mean, they're not sponsoring this. They're not paying me. They're not doing anything. They sent me some stuff to try out. And I mean, I just want to be honest with everyone. I'm not trying to whatever, but I just want everyone to know that of all this stuff that I get sent a lot of stuff, and this stuff, I mean, I've been using the dry oil with the brush. I cannot stress how amazing this stuff is. Just absolutely amazing. So once again, TBM15 at checkout for 15% off at canyouhandlebar.com. All their products are awesome. They got some really cool stuff, so definitely check them out. But now let's get right into this episode with Mr. Bryan Nelson as we talk about the 2017 World Beard and Mustache Championship in Austin, Texas. So, and go now. So I just kind of wanted to just chit chat a little bit. It's just really super relaxed and nothing crazy or anything. Just kind of talk about the event and kind of get your thoughts on how you thought everything went and you know what's going on for the rest of the year for you guys.
Yeah, we're already back in the swing of doing our normal stuff. We're kind of, I guess, we're a little bit supercharged. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming up.
What's are you guys still doing Come and Shave It in the late winter?
Yes, we're doing it in the end of February or maybe the very beginning of March. We're working on the dates right now.
That sounds
with the venue.
That sounds. I might have to make it down after this Austin experience. I am absolutely hooked on everything Austin. I think it's more the club than anything that I'm just really hooked on because everyone in the club that I met was just super awesome. Especially,
thank you.
Especially that Taylor guy and Paul. They were both just really great dudes.
Yeah, Taylor and Paul, they're special.
Special.
They are.
Special in a good way, or?
Yeah, sure. Most of the time it's in a good way.
That's cool. So now doing such a high-profile event like the World Beard and Mustache Championship, is that going to make it a lot easier for you guys to go back to doing the smaller type of event, or is it still going to be the same as it always has ever been?
I think we're going to try to up the production level on all of our events a little bit. Just because it's kind of addicting doing an event at that level.
I was gonna say it's
production, but
it's like you guys drank the Kool-Aid and you want to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about live streaming our upcoming October 21st. We're doing the 4th annual Dog Beard and Mustache Championship, or Dog Beard and Mustache competition.
Spit it
It's
out.
not really a championship.
So tell me about that. What is that? Because I saw in the program guide for the thing, I saw an ad for that, and I'm like, what the heck is this? This is brilliant. But explain what that is.
Yeah, it's our fourth annual. We have 6 categories for dog facial hair. So usually it's like schnauzers or like poodles or any dog with facial hair. And dogs without facial hair can come. People can put fake beards on their dogs. And there's like a dog and owner lookalike category. There's an old timer category. There's gnarliest beard category, Swedish stash category, which those are categories from our Come and Shave It event.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a freestyle one that is totally combines craft and whatever you want to do at all. Costume.
Now, Go ahead. No, go ahead.
We were, Taylor and I were at the WBMA meeting in Leinfeld and Echterdingen in 2013 in Germany. And we were talking about, we had just won the bid to host Worlds in 2017, and we were giving them a rundown of we're probably going to have some ladies craft categories. And there was a person that was speaking up at the meeting, and they were like, they just couldn't wrap their head around what we were talking about at all. We were like, what, ladies? Like, what? I think some of the guys were like, hey, we're doing this because we're trying to stay away from our wives. Why are you inviting our wives? But we were like, yeah, it's great. We do it all the time at all of our competitions. It's totally fun. And this person was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. What are you going to do next? What's there going to be next? Like a competition for dogs? We're like, oh my God, that's so genius. Let's do that. And so we immediately went back to Austin and did it.
And let me guess, is there a category for cats in there called the cat arenas?
No, that's good. Cats are welcome. We're all are welcome. It's an inclusive event, but no one has brought cats or goats yet.
Well,
but they both are invited if they want. If you can handle your cat or goat around a bunch of dogs, then you're totally welcome.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it would be very interesting to bring a cat into a room full of dogs and try to keep it under control, or keep the dogs under control.
It's super fun. The event it's a little weird, but people love their dogs, so people bring it out and have fun. And then we got a bunch of local dog groomers and dog food companies and just any canine product at all. They come out and set up little booths. We're very modestly priced tables.
Oh, wow.
For any of the people that want to come by. And if charities, any animal charity can come and set up for free. And I don't think we're even limited to animal charities. If anyone wants to come and set up a table. And then we've rotated it out between a couple local charities that get all the proceeds.
Is it like animal shelters and stuff like that, or is it just...
Yeah, the first 2 years we did Austin Animal Center, which is a no-kill shelter in Austin, and they're really great. And then we did Lovable last year. And then this year we're doing Lovable, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's like Schrody fund. It's like it's kind of like a training fund for dogs when you adopt a dog and you're not sure how to care for it or train it properly. Then they walk you through that. They give you classes or whatever. It's like a scholarship.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's always tough to, especially when you get a dog and you've never had one before, to know how to properly take care of it or train it, or if it's misbehaving, how to properly, break the habits of an animal like that.
Yeah.
So what else, other than that, what else do you guys have down the pipeline?
All right. So next, we have a meet and greet next Tuesday at a bar called Lala's.
Jeez, you guys get together a lot.
Yeah, we meet twice a month, every second and fourth Sunday, and then we try to have a meet and greet at least once a month also. And that's meet MEAT.
Oh, not MEET. Jeez.
Right.
See, I was thinking getting together and shaking each other's hands and going, "Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah, we do that, but usually there's food involved with meat, and then there's vegetarian options usually too.
So what is that considered? That's not meat, then. What is that?
It's fake meat or whatever. Yeah, whatever. They still have to say meat.
Oh.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they use the two E's instead of the EA.
Yeah, they can do that, because then that'll, it fits everyone. We don't want any sensitive people getting upset that you're, not including them and on the whole meet and greet thing.
Well, we try to be inclusive in everything we do. So
no,
that's definitely
a really cool. I mean, I think that's a thing across the board in the bearding community is very all inclusive to everyone. I mean, males, females, all different races, sexuality preferences, anything. And, it is a good place for people who feel, when I was growing my beard 15, 16, 17 years ago, I felt like an outcast. I felt like I didn't have any group or place that I belonged. And once I found this whole community, it's like my whole world is completely opened up.
It's really cool. It's really cool that so many clubs exist all over the place.
Yeah, I would have never known or anything about that. I mean, like literally, like I said, I've been growing for that many years. And I knew nothing about clubs. I knew nothing about like competitions really. And then one day we just kind of stumbled upon one and we showed up, and then I find out that there's all these like organizations and clubs, and then it spreads out into like there's all these different clubs all across the country, and then it spreads out to even, all over the world, and then there's these huge competitions. Like I had no idea. And
Totally.
This is like 6-7 years ago. I knew nothing about it. But then you guys had already been doing it, and you didn't want to share it with the world.
It's kind of mind blowing how many how much there is out there.
Well, and even to come to Worlds down in Austin and to see, how many different countries were represented and how many different like continents and all that stuff.
I believe we had 6 continents, and it was we had 33 countries, so it had 738 competitors.
Oh, wow.
From 33 countries, and then we had some honorary. We had an honorary competitor. We had 7 honorary competitors from Antarctica, which Taylor probably told you about. But
yeah, no, that's
3 of those were Whiskerinas, or 4. Some of them were Whiskerinas too.
Now
so that was pretty crazy.
Now, I want to ask you a question. Now, how did you feel after the whole thing was done and over? I mean, what was your general feeling?
I felt pretty good. I felt like we did a good job. It's kind of like, there were people asking me like before it was all over on Sunday night, like Sunday afternoon, people were like, "Hey, it's over. How are you feeling?" And I'm like, "It's not over. It's not over yet. We still had so much to do. We are still wrapping up a lot of stuff. We're getting our final invoices from the venue, and we're wrapping up everything from the after parties and stuff, and so it's still not really over. But our club, we all came together and did such a great job. I think we did really good. If we could do it again, we'd do a lot of things differently, but pretty much they would be the same. I mean, I don't know if anyone would notice if we did the different things I'm talking about.
Like, well, give me an example of something that you might like. What was one of your biggest beefs about the whole entire weekend?
Beefs. I don't really have a lot.
Staying on the meat theme here.
Yeah, meat.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we had some food trucks that canceled at the last minute.
Whoa.
And those really bummed us out. One of them was Frank, and it's like a sausage vendor. And they've been supporting us from day one, and they just had they overbooked themselves with a lot of shit got messed up with the hurricane. So we were rolling with the punches on that, but they couldn't bring a truck out for that, so they canceled. And so actually the other food trucks were pretty happy about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, from being just a person that was there, like I wouldn't, like, if there was another choice, I mean, I guess 3 days you could eat at one truck each day. And that's the way I did it, was I ate one meal at each truck each day. And, I don't know if I could have handled another choice. I mean, that might have been way too much. So I thought it was perfect.
Well, thanks. Frank was good. Frank has like specialty sausages, and they do a currywurst. It's really good. And they do like cheese waffle fries and stuff. And they're pretty decadent, and they usually have a really nice, friendly staff. And they would have added something to it. We also had another truck called Gobble Gobble. Oh,
I'm going to guess they sold beef jerky.
I have no idea what they sold, but I guess they're notorious for backing out of things. So I'm pretty bummed they backed out of our event. But I think that once they saw the response that we had,
I bet you they didn't feel very good.
Yeah, I think that they regret not doing it. That kind of goes for a bunch of people that we tried to get involved in the competition. We tried to invite so many local people and people that we've worked with over the years. And some of the people are like, I don't know if we can do it. And then like this week I'm getting emails. They're like, hey, no matter what you guys do ever again, please invite us. We will be a part of it. I promise.
That's funny you say that, because there's a lot of local businesses that are the same way with, I mean, anytime we approach someone for sponsorship or something, it's like everyone's like apprehensive about the whole concept of a beard competition being a fruitful kind of thing.
Yeah.
And once they see the press either before or after or during or whatever, they see how many people are there and where, it's like they're not open-minded enough to like, give it a chance. I mean, even though you're presenting yourself very well and you're doing, I mean, you guys have an excellent track record of doing many amazing things for your community. And I mean, I don't know why anyone would not want to work with you guys. I mean, me in Cleveland, I would do anything for you guys because I believe in your club. I believe in all the things you guys do. And I mean, I'd like to start a Austin Facial Hair Club chapter in Cleveland if you wouldn't mind, but
well, I'm sure we could work something out.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand how some businesses are just, I don't know if there's like that stigma that's behind, bearded guys, and they think that we're all criminals or bikers or whatever, but I just don't get it. I just don't get why people have to be so close-minded to it. And then, like you say, you get emails or calls or whatever, and they'll go, oh yeah, we see you on TV and this and that, and we see how the event went and how great it was. Well, we want to be a part of everything that you do from here on out.
Most of the people we approached totally joined in, and we got tons of support. So I'm not trying to say we didn't get the support we wanted. I just, I would have liked for 100% of the people we talked to be involved, and we got over 90%. So that's totally fine.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to be complaining about anything because I think that we really did a pretty good job, and our whole goal was to raise the bar for these kind of competitions because Austria was great to go there, and it's a tiny town, but the competition was like 16 hours long, and they had the same judges up there the whole time. They might have switched out like one or two, and just everyone was getting fatigued. And I don't even think the last two World Beard and Mustache Championships had a best in show. Like they had planned to do a best in show, and then by the end of it, everyone's like, "Oh, okay, good night."
Yeah. Now
I could just be forgetting it, so I'm not trying to diss anyone that won best in show.
No, I know you're not. I know you. I could only imagine all the things that are going through your head for the past like month. So when it comes to, you're talking about the judges now, like you guys had like a really great crew of judges. Why did you guys like decide to keep that all a secret until like literally like the day of, like who was judging, and how did you pick the judges?
Well, we researched all of this, and any previous championship we could find press on, nobody had ever a world championship. Nobody released the names of the judges
because they were afraid they may get murdered.
I don't know. They're probably not afraid of anything. They're probably just like, oh, and didn't think about it.
Oh.
I think that's definitely an American thing because people are like have their little celebrity people. They're like, hey, and this person, and I want to say that maybe they introduced judges in Brighton in 2007 in England. I wasn't there, but I know Nick Cave was one of the judges, so he would be worthy of announcing. But we had some really awesome judges, and they were all chosen for a reason. And I think they all did a great job. I know that some of the people that didn't score as high as they wanted, or I've seen very little complaints, like on social media about like, well, judging was good or whatever. But I stand by all the judges and all of their decisions. I mean, I could go down each one. Like everyone either has had shitload of experience that people just don't recognize because they're not national. They've been in Austin and they've been at our competitions. I mean, we had, or they were artists or specifically chosen for their knowledge of building things or, creating art, creating symmetry and stuff like that.
Well, I absolutely loved all the judges. I thought you had a great panel of judges. I honestly, like as you said about people complaining, I have not heard one like complaint from anyone or any kind of negative feedback about what they thought about it. It's like I would have expected things to keep kind of slowing down a little bit, but it's like every day everyone's still posting about it, and it's already 2 weeks later almost.
Yeah, we're trying to do a media wrap with our Taylor's getting that together because he was our media liaison.
Oh, he's gonna do like a wrap,
we're trying to collect all the links and all like how many media outlets have spread the story or reported on the story on the event, and it just keeps growing. So we're sending out reports to our sponsors and stuff, but then we're like, hey, we'll send you another one next week because it's still like blossoming.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've gotten three weeks and 3 episodes out of me so far, and I still have about 4 or 5 more that are going to be coming out that are from people that I interviewed down there. So you're going to get a good
great.
month and a half worth of promotion out of this from me.
Well,
And I'm going through Lone Star withdrawal too. So next time I see you, you're definitely going to have to buy me one.
No problem. I'll sneak you up some.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I wonder if I can get that in Ohio, but I might have
Lone
to.
Star did it so good. They've been sponsoring us for a long time, and they really went all out. So that's one thing that would change if we do it again. Everyone, and some of the competitors were able to get the Lone Stars out of the vending machine, but we had our own little Lone Star machine there backstage, but it would get empty super fast, and then it would take a certain amount of time to cool down again.
Yeah,
and so that was a problem we didn't really think about. But if we did it again, so every competitor when they got off stage, they would have had the option to have like a cold Lone Star and a shot of Tullamore Dew.
Ooh.
If they were our major sponsors. And then we could have a picture of every single competitor doing that. I mean, if someone didn't want to drink, we could have had Topo Chico or orange juice or whatever also, No, it wouldn't be a pressure thing.
Yeah, no, I thought that I was able to get a beer out of the vending machine, but it was a warm one. So, but I realized that I saw them because I kept going back and forth from backstage, front stage, and it seemed like every 20 minutes you guys were refilling that damn thing up. So I was like, man, this thing's not going to be working very good by the end of the event.
Yeah, it still works great. It just takes a while it's meant, be filled up like once a week or something, or not like 5 times a day.
Yeah, no, definitely not. No, that was a really cool thing though. I mean, like walking backstage and seeing your whole production and all the people that were back there, that this person doing that person doing this. Now, how much were you involved in orchestrating who was doing what, and who delegated all the positions to all the people that were working back there?
There's about 5 of us that have been meeting for over a year, at least once a month, and then for the last 4 months we were meeting twice a month, and then for the last 2 months we were meeting every week. So we went through every single scenario and got it all nailed down, like every single aspect, pretty much. We hired a stage production company for the inside stage. So some of those people, like on stage right, mm-hmm. Where like the judges would walk through, like the judges side of the stage. Robert was on that side of the stage, and he's from the production company we hired, Lustrum Productions. And so they worked with there's so many, so you're going to probably have to cut me off because there's so much involved in the process of everything. But so we hired them anyway, and they worked with the Long Center to make sure our stage was the way we wanted it. We worked with Remington to make sure the banners were working, that they wanted to hang, that we're going to match our stage plan. We had the risers planned out months and months ago, like years ago. We had enough.
Well, which was it, months or years?
Both.
Okay.
So we had I know we wanted as many coral risers as possible, but we decided on 50 would be a good amount. So 50 competitors were able to be on stage at once on those risers we had.
Now, were you guys expecting the amount of competitors when you were originally?
We projected that amount, but 3 months ago we had less than 300 people signed up.
Oh, wow.
And so we'd already had the venue for 3 days. We already had most of this production in mind. So we're like, well, we'll just, we'll make the most of it. And then everyone finally got in, and then we got more than numbers we wanted. So I had planned for enough T-shirts to give every competitor a shirt and then have enough to sell to people too. But by the end of it, we only had enough to give people the competitor shirts. So we have the T-shirts. We're reprinting them now, and so we're gonna have them on sale if people want to buy a comp shirt and didn't get one.
That's cool. Well,
but as far as I want to go back to the backstage stuff because it's just so much, because the backstage is so huge.
That's what she said.
Yep. And then we had the plan. Jessica's been she was stage left. She was ushering the competitors in.
She was so very nice and so very sweet.
She's awesome, and she was the one. She's been doing that at our Come and Shave It competition for several years now, and she really likes that position and likes to do that. And she, she does.
Yeah.
She did a great job at it, and she pretty much had the plan for that. And then she was on comm with Robert on the other side of the stage, and both of them were on comm with Vera, who was in the sound booth at the back of the hall, and she was making all the calls like, "Natural Mustache, you're next," or "Freestyle Beard, go to the backstage area," or whatever. She was making the calls on the comm, and they were also talking to the sound guy. And I programmed all of the sound, like all the little sound bites and sound clips that happened.
Yeah,
we got all that license free, or we got the licenses for them. And there's just so much stuff. I mean, we worked with the photographers. We worked with Troy and Riz about doing the interviews afterwards. I mean, I kind of wish we would have had another official photographer. I mean, Joe's done awesome, but we had enough time where we could have had another person up, like on Jessica's side of the stage. That would have been cool. Also, just have like the before and after pics.
Yeah. Like
some people have that, those pictures where it's like the person's face, and then the cameraman tells them that he loves them, and then their face lights up or whatever. Could have had the difference of that. I don't know. Our whole team is so cool, and I'm so glad that we all came together and did just all of the little parts. I mean, the event was a little bit more successful than we had planned. We had people doing like 3 jobs, and everyone jumped in and fit into their roles perfectly. Well, it was really super.
I'll tell you what, I was extremely impressed when you guys marched out the whole club out onto the stage, and you had them all in the risers, and just to see how many people are involved in the club, like that's just amazing, number one. And
yeah,
it's such a diverse crowd. I mean, you have a lot of women that are involved in your club, which is really cool, as opposed to, like our club is mostly male. There's a lot of women involved, but I mean, your club's definitely at the forefront of you guys have been around for a long time. I mean, what is it, like 30, 40 years now?
Yeah, it's like 100 years.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys have a lot of members. I mean, obviously great leadership you guys have figured it out, which is really nice, because I've done a lot of different events. I've planned. I've been on all different angles of it, and for me watching, and that's me being critical. Like I'll go to events like that, and I'm watching all the cogs going. I'm watching all the different people doing their jobs, trying to figure out what that person's doing. And I mean, like I said, bouncing from front stage to backstage, everything was meticulously, planned out. Everything ran smoothly. I didn't see anything that would have if I was in charge I didn't see anything that was questionable or, that was going to make something run late or this and that. I mean, everything just ran so smooth, and you guys just were so calm, so relaxed. And it was everything went off it was like you had done 20,000 of those.
Well, we've done a lot. I mean, we'll be doing our 12th competition this winter, spring, whatever it is, 12th annual. Thank you for saying that, and thank you for noticing all the hard work. It definitely took a lot of effort.
Well, like I said,
it all came together pretty good.
To me, that's the one thing that really stuck out. But that's, like I said, I've been on your end, and I've done the production and all that stuff. So that's what I'm drawn to. That's what I'm looking at when I go to a big events is what can we pull away from this to use for our event? What can we do?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, shit, you guys went way above and beyond what a lot of us smaller local clubs could do. But I mean, definitely you showed these guys in these clubs that, hey, anyone can get together and throw a huge, amazing event like this. I mean, it definitely takes a lot of work and a lot of good leadership, but I mean, anyone can do it, but you guys just made it look so easy. It was it made me sick almost. I'm sorry to say.
Well, we had 4 years to really think about it. And we had a lot of elements that weren't there. We were supposed to have a tattoo artist there.
Yeah, that was another thing.
That fell through at the very end of it.
I was going to get...
That fell through.
I know, I was going to get a tattoo. I was waiting.
Man, the guy, we had one company that was going to do it, a local company, and then they decided that they didn't want to invest in it, and we were just going to let them come in at whatever price point they wanted. But then this other guy who had also done a lot of our club tattoos previously, He's like, on the fence and on the fence. I'm like, come on, I'll make sure you make a minimum every day. Like, I'll guarantee you make this, whatever the amount is. We didn't even get to talk about the amount. And at the end, he's like, well, I think I could better serve people if they just came to my shop. And I'm like, well, there's like there's no room there's no room in the schedule for anyone to go to your shop.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sending anyone away from the event to go to your shop. So,
well,
I guess it's just not going to work.
I'll tell you another thing that was the vendors. I mean, my Lord, like your whole vendor area was beautiful. I mean, the way that was all set up was just great. And I went around and talked to each of the vendors, and like I couldn't believe the feedback I got from all of them, because I'm always, that's another thing. I'm always like, when I go to an event, I always try to talk to all the different vendors. Hey, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys selling a lot of product, or just a lot of people just looking? And usually at like the smaller competitions, we're talking 200, 300, 400 people. They're like, yeah, we got a lot of people looking. We've sold maybe like 20 bottles or whatever, blah blah blah, and it just doesn't seem like a lot of people are like super interested. They like to check everything out, but every vendor that I talked to was like, today was the best day we've ever done ever in all of our sales. Then you talk to them the next day, and it's like, oh my God, today was even better than yesterday. It was like everyone was having like astronomically awesome days selling products. So I was like, to me, that was just shocking, because it's like I was expecting everyone to be like, we came all this way, we spent all this money to travel down here, bring all of our merch and this and that, and then, it was a bust or whatever. But everyone just seems so happy. I mean, all the vendors seemed so happy that they were there. People were buying stuff, and, everyone was making profit. It was just all around amazing. I mean, for you, I would feel so proud that you put together such an amazing event that, number one, went off like pretty much flawlessly. Or if it didn't, you did a really good job, like saving face with that, because you just
the parts that I know didn't go right. I don't think anyone notices. So
and that's fine. Yeah, and that's it. But I mean, every time I saw you, you're walking around with a smile on your face, just like Mr. Confident guy. Like, yeah, it's all fucking going great, dude. Like that's the vibe you gave off all weekend long. Anytime I saw you at any of the after parties at wherever, it was like you were the guy that was just like, you had a smile on your face. But I think you did, because I couldn't really see through your beard and mustache, but I could see it in your eyes though.
It was great to see everyone, and it was great to be doing the event. I mean, I think that's really fun. I do lots of events like during South by Southwest or whatever. I'm an independent promoter for music stuff.
No.
Anyway, and yes.
That's awesome.
But this, I usually am doing it by myself. I don't have like an awesome 60-person team helping me with everything. So, and like you're talking about the vendors, like Tony had arranged all the vendors upstairs in that room. We saw that room. We're like, yes, the vendors should be up here. It's a beautiful area. You can the overlook through the windows. You see throughout the city, and you can see down on the terrace. And Tony, he's gotten feedback, the same feedback you're giving me. Like he said, all the vendors were really happy, and everyone was proud to be a part of it. So I'm definitely happy to hear that.
Yeah, and I mean, I was, like I said, I talk to people at all the events I go to all over. So to hear that, I mean, this was the first time I've ever heard that at an event where everyone was like, all the vendors were like extremely happy on how everything was going and how much stuff they were selling and how much interest they had. So
our production team, the guys I was talking about, Robert and Vera.
Yes,
and they're the ones that hired they subcontracted out the live stream dudes.
Oh yes.
And we we were over their shoulder. We had several meetings with them about how we wanted it to look, and we got that pretty close to how we exactly wanted it to look. But that's fine. We're still sifting through so much media.
Oh yeah.
That like we barely have the photos out. We're gonna have the GIFs out, the moving headshots.
Yeah.
We're going to have those out for everyone as soon as we can process them. We're just, Jimmy's going to help me figure out how to help him process them, and we'll knock them out really soon so everyone can have theirs.
No, that's another thing too, is like, just to seeing like how your photographer, that you had after everyone walked off stage, he's like releasing like a batch of pictures like every few days, and it's like everyone's like, where's my picture, and it's like,
Right.
I get it, man, dude, because I took over 3,000 pictures, and I've been trying to edit them, but then I'm also trying to record podcasts, and I'm trying to edit those, I'm trying to organize this and that, and it's like I'm doing 65 different things at the same time, and it's like I can't get all my pictures done. And it's like people are like, "What's your pictures?" And I'm like, I'm like, it's a production.
So we're recording 4 cameras worth of material all 3 days.
Yeah,
so I have all of that, and then we have all the interviews that Troy and the Dick and Riz did.
Yeah. Now, what's that going to be? Is that going to be coming out through the Austin Facial Hair Club website?
Yeah, we're working on that. It's going to be coming out through us somehow, but I don't know. I think we're going to give some to them to release too, or we're going to figure it out. We're still figuring that out with Troy mainly, but
yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of gold in there. Like even some of it's just super boring, but it's still funny.
No, I get it. That's the way it was for me. It was like I was walking around with the microphone talking to people, and it's either like, you get someone that's like they're gold, or you get the guys that you're asking questions to, and they just one word answers, and it's like, oh man, come on, like work with me here, and it's like you have to try to manipulate the conversation. But I couldn't imagine like the amount of, just for the amount of material that I did for myself down there, and me working on stuff by myself, trying to get through it. And I'm so far behind, but to have you guys and, like you say, 4 cameras worth of footage going for 3 days, and all the pictures from the photographers. It's such a huge production. And that's what I want people to understand is the production you guys put together was just astronomical compared to what you would do at, the Come and Shave It events, or a lot of other clubs would do in their towns for their events and stuff like that. It just, I applaud you so much. And that's what I really wanted to talk to you about, is to like show mad respect to you and your club about what an amazing job you guys did for this event. And I don't even, how can it be topped is the question.
Well, that is the question. Let's see if someone top it. That would be awesome.
Well, in comparison to other previous worlds, I've not seen any coverage of older world competitions that had productions like this.
No one's ever had a production like this at a previous worlds. The Leinfeld in Echterningen in 2013, that was the closest. And they had a nice production. They also had an iMag on stage, and they had which is like the close-up camera.
Oh, I thought you said iMac. I'm like thinking of like
iMag,
a computer. All right.
And they live streamed it too. But technology for live streaming has improved greatly in 4 years.
Oh yeah.
So we have that to our advantage. But they were like Jürgen. He came down, and I talked to him earlier today, and he's like Jürgen Burkhardt from the Bell Mustache.
Yeah.
They were the ones that hosted 2013. He's still blown away by our event, and he's just like, it's a really big compliment to me when he tells me, like, he's like, Brian, you have made true world championship.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like, oh my God, that means so much. He's been going to these competitions since like 93 or something. So they're excited. He's excited that we've set a level that he wants everyone else to meet.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, what are the next one? Where's the next one at?
It's in Antwerp, in 2019.
Yeah, so
in Belgium.
Now, if we get all these guys going out there and it's a really lackluster event, it's like, you break a lot of hearts. But you guys,
exactly what would happen is if it ends up being lackluster, like you say, or not as whatever as Austin was, it's still going to be an awesome time.
Well, yes, especially.
So everyone's going to have a great time because everyone's going to be together, and that's the most important part.
Well, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you on that, because I'll even testify to the fact of just staying at the Super 8 like changed my life. I made so many friends. Super 8. It's a pretty shady place, but
man, the couple, I'm sure you may have seen pictures, but it was either last year or the year before. We had a bunch of people staying at the Super 8 as usual, and that place. I don't know if it's a motel or a hotel, but it's really close to the Mohawk, so that's one of the reasons that everyone stays there, which is where we usually hold our Come and Shave It event. But anyway, a couple years ago, there was they were remodeling a bunch of the rooms, and so they just had like 200 toilets out in the middle of the parking lot. And so there's hundreds of pictures of Brad Jackson or whoever, sitting on 300 toilets.
Brad Jackson gave me my first In-N-Out experience while I was in Austin. It was really
Nice.
It was really good. But,
yeah, In-N-Out, not just for LA anymore.
No, that's what I heard. I mean, it's like slowly making its way. But I don't think it's ever going to make it to Cleveland. But I guess if I have to go to Austin to get it, then I will have to come back.
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan. It's all right.
It's meat, though. M-E-A-T.
It is M-E-A-T, right?
And we like meat.
Yeah, that's where me at.
Meat. Oh, man, look at you. You're punny.
Well.
Okay, this is the last thing I wanted to talk to you about. You and your typewriter fetish.
Yep.
Now, you posted a couple weeks ago your spirit animal, or is that what you called it? Oh, my God.
I guess.
Now, it was an old typewriter, and it had the Eddie Van Halen guitar, the paint job.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the most. That would make me want to collect typewriters.
Well, that's not in my collection, but I saw that picture and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
So, what got you into typewriters? What's the whole story behind that?
I don't know. I took a bunch of writing classes in college, creative writing and whatever. But and I started writing on typewriters. I found a typewriter at an old thrift store place in the early 90s.
Now, does one write?
I really liked it.
Does one write on a typewriter, or do they type on a typewriter?
Well, you do both.
Oh, okay.
You write by typing.
Oh, okay. Okay, just wanted to clarify that since you're the typewriter expert here. Yeah.
Well, usually if you're just typing, you're you're copying something that someone else already wrote, or you're taking dictation. If you're writing something, you're creating something.
Okay. Now, okay.
With the typewriter.
Thank you for breaking that technicality down. That does make sense, though.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes. Mr. Typewriter expert, Bryan Nelson.
Well, I have a lot of typewriters. I don't know if that makes me an expert.
It does. Well, you just schooled me on writing on a typewriter.
Yeah, well, that's
like typewriter 101. Is it typewriter or typewriter?
It's the second one you said.
Typewriter. Typewriter. Like typewriter.
Yeah, in German it's Schreibmaschinen or whatever. And that's write machine. So it's like the writing machine.
All right, so it's Republican then. So now we're making this political.
Well, it's with a W.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't necessarily make it Republican.
W. You're a Texas guy, right. W? No, okay. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm making bad jokes, I guess.
I don't care. I mean, I live in Austin, so Austin's the blueberry and the tomato soup is what they say.
Oh, that's very interesting. I thought it was more strawberry.
Could be.
So, okay.
It's good.
Let's get back to the typewriter thing, because I've been always, this is one thing that I've known about you for years, and I've always wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
So
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, you have many in your collection, but how did this become your thing? Like, how did it?
All right. So I tried to answer this earlier, but you interrupted me with another question.
I'm sorry. Jesus, man.
That's fine. That's good. That makes you a good whatever this is,
Bryan,
podcast host or.
I'm trying to listen to you, and
I'm not. This is part of. Yeah, it's fine.
This is my typewriter. This is my typewriter. I do it vocally.
That's great.
I'm hitting the backspace now.
So I found this one typewriter that I liked. It was like, I don't know, it was like $5 and it worked. So I took it home and I started writing on it, and I really like how you can write without handwriting. It's like the anonymity, whatever that word is.
Anonymity.
Whatever that thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing. So, it's like this, it's like kind of, if someone else read it, they wouldn't necessarily think that you wrote it or read it in your voice. It's like this anonymous blank slate. And that's cool. And then I got another typewriter just because I thought the first one was cool. And I noticed that the things I would write on the newer typewriter were like kind of in a different character. They're like a different voice. if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wasn't projecting a different voice in my mind. Like I thought I was being the same, but then I would go back and look at it and notice that they kind of wrote in two different directions. And then I got another typewriter, and then I kind of noticed a similar thing. And now I just have like tons of typewriters, and I usually don't write on any of them.
But have you written on each one of them at least once?
Yeah.
All right.
If they work. I have a lot of typewriters that don't work. Like, people give me ones that have been in their yard for 10 years or whatever. So I've got a bunch in like our garden or decorating the outside of the house.
I would probably equate that to like a guitar player, like picking up a different guitar. I mean, each guitar has a different tone, a different sound, and
Totally.
I mean, you're playing a guitar and it totally feels different, so you're gonna play differently than you would on the last guitar you played.
Yeah, and I have a small collection of guitars as well.
Oof.
Mostly basses, but I've got some good guitars.
Basses. Yeah. So you like to collect facial hair, typewriters, and guitars.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you like to collect? Oh, besides
I collect
dead chickens.
We've got a lot of. I don't really collect dead chickens. We have chickens, and sometimes they become
dead
meat.
MEAT.
Yes.
They like to meet the axe. MEET.
Yeah, we don't chop their heads off, but I mean, not to kill them. We eventually chop their heads off after they're dead.
Oh,
but
so how do they die then? Of old age?
We have a processing cone, so it's like this metal cone, and you stick the rooster's head in there, and so they're upside down, and their body's in the cone, kind of contained in a cone like shape. It's not really a cone, but they call it a cone. And the head sticks out the bottom, and then just give each side of the neck a little slice on the jugular and the carotid artery, and they bleed out 3 or 4 minutes, spaz out a couple times, but the cone holds them in place pretty much.
But you get a good meal out of it, though.
Yeah.
And I do hear they stop laying eggs after this point, right?
Well, hopefully the roosters were never laying eggs.
Yeah, you said roosters, didn't you? See, that was me not paying attention.
We keep the hens
because they lay the eggs.
And our roosters, they decide themselves who gets processed by how early they decide to crow.
Whoa, those are jerks. They need to go.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed my wife and daughter on stage with their daughters with their mustaches.
Yes.
But those were all the feathers from our processed chickens.
I tell you what, your daughters are absolutely cute as could be. Your wife looked wonderful up there. Does she participate a lot, or just was this like a one kind of time thing?
She used to participate a lot more, and then we started having kids, and so it started to become less fun because, like, if I'm helping organize and run the event, then I can't be chasing the kids, and then so she would be stuck chasing the kids. So at some point, she's like, "I'm just going to stay home."
Oh,
makes total sense. But now their kids are older, and they can come, and they're almost manageable.
And and they can participate too, which is even more fun because I even do that with my son. Like, there's a lot of events out by us where they're smaller, like bar events where 35 guys are competing or 40 people are competing, and it'll be in the afternoon, and there'll always be like a kids category. So very similar to the Whiskerina, but your kids are. You can involve your kids. You can bring your family. So you can compete. Your wife can compete, and your kids, and those ones are a lot of fun too.
Yeah, we do another. I didn't get to go through our calendar of upcoming events, but we have an event. We'll be doing our 7th annual Albert's Whimsical Whisker Review at the Dickens on the Strand Festival in Galveston, Texas. Wow. It's like a Dickens era street festival.
All right,
and they've had us come out there for 7 years now, and we have a kids category there where we have all the craft stuff at the table. So that's kind of why we emphasize craft and fantasy over just Whiskerina, because if you open it up, like again, to be all inclusive, like if it's craft category, then it's not like only girls, and Whiskerina's kind of sounds like it's only for girls.
Yeah. Well, just like Catarina is only for cats in the dog competition.
Exactly, but that's not an actual category. That's something you made up.
I know I did. I'm just giving you free ideas tonight.
Yeah, thank you. That's good. Cats will have to. There's no the categories at the dog.
You like that
Beard and Mustache
categories
championship or competition? They aren't. They're not species specific. They're just. It's just freestyle or creative mustache or whatever it is. It's not a dog mustache per se.
Split
We're
hairs.
still waiting for the goat.
Hairs.
We're waiting for the goat to enter. That's why we left all this open. But like at the event, the World Championship, there was a guy that entered the craft beard category.
We saw that. We were kind of talking about that behind stage about that.
Totally awesome. And then we had a girl or one or two or I think three, I'm not sure, enter the traditionally men's categories.
Well, we had, yeah.
I think that's super cool.
Well, Rose from Portland, Oregon, who,
yes,
she is absolutely amazing. Did you get a chance to meet her?
Yes.
Oh, she's a phenomenal person. That was probably one of my biggest highlights of coming to Austin was meeting her. I mean, she's just so inspirational in so many different ways.
Somebody told me there was more girls that entered those traditionally male categories. Maybe there wasn't.
As far as I know,
I was backstage most of the time.
Yeah, with a smile on your face.
I was, of course, because everything was running so perfectly.
Yes, it was. Well, from an outsider's perspective of a person that runs events too, yes, it was running perfectly.
But, the whole time I was just trying to follow through with the swing. So we weren't done until Monday. I kind of felt like we were done Monday. Well, and after it was all through.
And every time I saw you, I so badly wanted to come up and talk to you, but I'm like, no, he's either enjoying this moment of relaxation and I don't want to bother him, or you were talking to someone about something and I just was I wanted to leave you alone so you could enjoy your space when you were by yourself. And, I mean, we in passing, we said hello to each other and everything, but I would have loved to have sat and talked to you for much longer down there, but I also know the trials and tribulations of being an event organizer.
Well, you also had a minimum of 738 other people to talk to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is it's trying to delegate your time between all the different people. So,
but anytime in the future, if you see me, and no matter what I'm doing, if you want to talk, just come say hi to me.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you for taking this time tonight to give us all the cool information about the world competition. And hopefully I will see you in the late winter, early spring back in Austin. And thank you, Brian. Why? B-R-Y-A-N. Why? Because I love you. You are an awesome dude. I can't say enough about how great you are, how great the club is, what a big heart you have, and all the great things that you do for your community of Austin. I admire you so much. You are what a lot of bearded guys should aspire to be. And I mean, just as he keeps texting me now as I'm trying to record. But I'm done with you, Brian. Please just leave me alone for tonight. I mean, I talked to you and now you keep texting me. I'm not... Anyone that went to the Austin event, give me some feedback. Email me at scott@thebeardcaster.com. Let me know what kind of time you had. Did you have an awesome time? Did you have a shitty time? What did you like? What didn't you like? I mean, for me, I enjoyed everything. The one and only thing that I kind of was the waiting for the judges to calculate the scores and stuff like that. But, hey, if that was the one little thing the one little nugget that kind of stunk during the weekend for me, 98% of the rest of it was just awesome. But it was such a great time. And like we talked about, what's the next one going to be like? Now the bar is set, and I think Austin Facial Hair Club set that bar so damn high that I'm almost wondering if anyone's ever going to be able to get to that bar, or who knows. But Yeah, so austinfacialhairclub.com. You can find a whole bunch of really cool stuff that happened at Worlds, some video, all the results, and I guess I can announce that at this point now that I ended up placing number 7 in natural goatee. So the Beardcaster is number 7 in the world for natural goatee. I'm very delighted to be that. I was expecting a much lower, but when the scores came out and I saw my place, I was absolutely stunned to see how high I placed. I mean, because there were so many great guys in the natural goatee category, and I'm very proud, and I'm just very thankful that I was able to be there and compete. And once again, thank you, the American Mustache Institute and Can You Handlebar, TBM15 at checkout at canyouhandlebar.com. Definitely save yourself some money. I mean, those guys are hooking you up. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Austin Facial Hair Club. You guys are great. And I guess we'll wrap it up on that, because, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it. I mean, Brian and I talked about a lot and covered a lot of stuff, and I still have many more episodes to go with some stuff that I recorded down in Austin that I can't wait. I'm not even listening to it yet, because I want to go back and re-listen to it and relive the situation and just enjoy it, because it was I had so much fun with everything that I did down there. And if you didn't go, I feel bad for you, because you missed one of the most amazing weekends ever. And like I said, the bar was set so high by the Austin Facial Hair Club that who knows if anything's ever gonna live up to this event again. So if you were there, you know all about it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we're all part of the club now, and all the new friends I've made, the number 7 club. So, but okay, everyone, make sure you guys share this with your friends, please. That would mean the world to me if you guys told your friends about this podcast, The Beardcaster. Tell them, share the website, thebeardcaster.com, share it with your friends. And I guess that's all I can ask from everyone. And I thank you all for listening. Thank you so very much. I'm so thankful for everything. I'm so blessed. And until we talk again next week, tell a friend, subscribe, share, do whatever you need to do to get the word of the Beardcaster out there. Because all I'm trying to do is help the bearding community grow stronger, bigger, and just become more... I don't know, more something. What are we mooring? More, I don't know, more you. Because it's all about you. The bearding community is all about me. It's all about you. So let's get more of you into it. So the more you are into it, the bigger it gets, the grander it gets. So just share the Beardcaster with somebody this week, and I guess that's it. And so until we talk again next week, thank you very much. I am very grateful for you listening. I am very grateful for you sharing. And thank you again, and I'll talk to you next week. Ciao.